Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to my hobby blog. Today I'm going to be talking about the Grand Norse epic. Is it Norse? I don't know what to call it, but I guess it's Old English is the most accurate descriptive for this. But I read the epic Beowulf. I'm a little zoomed in here, but there it is. Okay, so this was the most recent translation by Tom Shippey that was recommended by Dr. Philip Chase, who has done a few videos. He had an interview actually with the translator, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, this seems like a really good way to experience the book. And Philip teaches Beowulf, so I feel like I can trust him in that regard. So I was really excited opening this up, and I found that we don't immediately start with Beowulf the story. We actually start with a history of Beowulf, the story, and talking about oral storytelling and talking about oral just storytelling and spreading through word of mouth, and how these stories just kept being passed around, and no one wrote them down. So there was only one surviving copy of this legend of Beowulf. And I was really, really blown away by that, because I was really kind of shocked, because nowadays, 1400 years later or so, we really know this story. It has been studied very heavily. This is just such an epic, influential, amazing story with some great characters, amazing writing as well that comes from sort of Old English, I guess, prose. So you get just sort of that really ancient, lived feeling while reading this. Like you feel like you're reading a historical account of something. And that was another thing that I really enjoyed about the intro section about the history of this, because they talk about how there's some events in the story that actually happened. And one of those was one of the bandit or raiders in the beginning of Beowulf. They're raiding and kind of wiping out these towns, and Beowulf shows up and with these bandits, and it's sort of hinted at by the sort of whoever did that section. I forgot whether it was Tom Shippey or not, but it seemed like to me that there is such a this story is just a lot more real than a lot of people give it credit for. It was really shocking to me reading that section, because I was like, wow, I thought this was wholly original, just, a lot of people around a campfire, telling these stories and not really drawing from history. They were just but it makes total sense why they would use real history, because you can put these fantastical stories like a Beowulf fighting Grendel or the dragon, and you can put that into our own history and make it so much more, I guess, believable. And that's what I love about fantasy, is taking the believable and then taking that next step. So Beowulf was really fun to read. I read it in about a day on Saturday. Today's Monday evening that I'm recording this, but I loved it. It goes without saying that Beowulf, there's a reason why it has survived over 1,000 years. It dates back to the 8th century, I believe. The 700s is sort of the time frame that that author of that intro said that the story originates from. So I'm going to take that as fact. And I loved it. There's a reason why this is a classic. I love the sort of epic prose of this. To me, it's epic because it's sort of, I wouldn't say it's very much a Lord of the Rings type of book in terms of the way it reads, because J.R. Tolkien, if you don't know, he translated Beowulf. And I believe it was his translation that, for the first time ever, made it accessible to the everyday person. So people who didn't need to know Old English. And so when he translated it into modern English, the story really blew up. And you can really see how influential Beowulf was for J.R. Tolkien, because it is amazing just how similar the writing is between Lord of the Rings and Beowulf. I've read Lord of the Rings about 3 or 4 times now, twice on audiobook and once physically on the big book. My big book is actually back here, but I can't show it because I have a family picture right on top of it. But I've been reading Lord of the Rings forever. I love J.R. Tolkien. I love all his works that he's done. I haven't read the Silmarillion. Maybe this is the year I do that. I don't know. I'm very overwhelmed sort of by its reputation. And I just need to dive right in. I've read many epic stories now. I think I can handle it. But even the character names are very similar. You have a character by the name of Eomer in this story. You have a mention of the Lord of Rings, which, like, I don't know if he went through this, but I feel like Tolkien was, like, translating Beowulf and was thinking about Middle-earth, and I have this, like, image in my head of Professor Tolkien at his desk at his British university writing, and him, like, reading, you know, Lord of Rings, like, over and over again, and being like, what about Lord of the Rings? Ooh. And I don't know, it made me laugh thinking of that while I was reading Beowulf. So that was one thing I wanted to mention, but there's also a lot of other influences that Beowulf has had. One of which, I don't know if it's a direct influence or not, but the character name of Grendel, who is this, like, monstrous person who was kind of punished by the gods, and I don't really know, like, I didn't retain too much about Grendel because this is such a fast short story compared to what I thought it would be, but I was thinking of the Wheel of Time Forsaken character Grendel while I was reading Grendel, and I thought that was really funny as well. There's a lot of little things like that while you read Beowulf that you're like, oh, that's what that person got that from. Oh, that's what that person got this from. Or at least you can make that theory, because I can't just text Robert Jordan and ask him, oh, was Grendel, named after Grendel from Beowulf? Can't do that. So I guess I'll just headcanon that he did. But I would also say that the commentary is really done well. I did not read it, although I did skim it, because it sort of gave me more of a feeling that, like, I needed to read it, like, on a reread. Like, read the commentary first, and then reread it or something, or maybe just reread Beowulf and then jump into the commentary, because I wanted my unfiltered through the academic lens. I wanted to interpret it as I did, as a non Old English academic, all of these things, because the commentary really goes into detail. It's about half of this book is dedicated to the commentary, about what each line or each section is about, and sort of what the meanings are and the motifs and all that. I wasn't really interested in that this read, but I very much am. Maybe later this year I will do that. But yeah, this was a really great read. It's really quick. It's about, I guess, 200 pages. But every other page is, I'll show you. Every other page is Old English. So you have this side, which I'm trying to get the thing to do. Maybe you can see it from here, but on this side that my finger is tapping is Old English, and on this side is modern English. So it's really like 100 pages, and as you can see from here, it's not many words per page. So you could definitely read this in a day, a dedicated day, though, because I took a lot of breaks. I had lunch, kind of in the middle of it. I watched some YouTube, kind of just to uh, continue on and all that. I took a lot of breaks, but I do think this is really easy to read in terms of in one sitting, because I think it's really well written. I love the prose. I love the descriptions. I really enjoyed the first half more, when Beowulf is coming onto the land and he is tasked by the kind of the log house, whatever they, or the grand hall guy, the king. He tasks Beowulf with killing Grendel, and Beowulf is like, okay, I'll just wait here because Grendel just keeps coming back. And I really enjoyed that section. That's my favorite section of the movie as well. I love it. I saw that movie in theaters, by the way, and I really loved it back then. I thought it was really fun. I need to rewatch it. I think I would enjoy that movie a lot more now as an adult, because I was really disappointed, and I was very slightly disappointed on this read. But I remember watching that movie. I was so mad because it seemed like after Grendel is like killed and all that and settled with, everything leading up to the dragon and afterwards, I just don't care about. I don't know why. I need to rewatch it. That's why I want to rewatch it, so I can kind of view it objectively for once, since I was, 9 years old, 2007, 2008, I think it came out. So I was like 10 or 11 when it came out, so I'm due for a rewatch. So, but I would highly recommend this. My rating would be like a 4 out of 5, 9 out of 10 maybe, if I'm going out of 10. But it's great. If you haven't read it, please go read it. It's fun. It's classic. I don't really have anything else to say, so thank you all so much for watching, and please have a great rest of the day.